Hi, I'm Jennifer from Domek Logistics, and I'm going to go over classification and some of the rules about classification today. One of the tools for classifying your goods is the Cross Rulings website on Customs website under cbp.gov. You can come in here and you can put in a description here in the middle where I put stainless steel in quotations and travel mug. That if you put it in quotations, it's going to find rulings that have those words together. And if you put them outside of quotations, they're looking for those words anywhere within the ruling. As you come down, you can sort these by date or rank. I usually sort them by date. You can see that we have some rulings from just a couple of months ago. And then you can drill into the ruling by clicking on the link. And what it will open up is the actual ruling from Customs. And it highlights the words that you put onto the screen that you wanted to look for and tells you a little bit about the product so you can compare it to what you have. So in this circumstance, it's a stainless steel travel tumbler, and it has a steel interior and a stainless steel exterior, and the lid is stainless steel. So if this is similar to your product, you can just read down and find that Customs tells you that the applicable subheading will be 7323.93.0080, and it will also give the duty rate, in this case 2%. That would be the rate as of 2013, and later I'll show you how to look up the current rate of any classification so that you'll know what your current duty rate will be and your liability for duty will be. This is a very useful tool, the Customs and Border Protection cross search, and it's used by brokers and importers alike quite often. Another useful search is the anti-dumping countervailing duty search. Let me make it a little bigger here. Same kind of circumstance. You can put in words to search by. In this case I put wax, candles, and china, and I clicked go. Again, I sorted by date, and you can see all of the anti-dumping rulings on wax candles. Anti-dumping in countervailing duty are additional duties that might be assessed on imported goods intended for sale in the U.S. at abnormally low prices. Dumping is when countries and or companies dump product into the U.S. at less than manufacturing costs in the U.S. And sometimes the government of those foreign countries subsidizes the pricing. And so a case is then opened by the International Trade Commission, and if they find that the product is being dumped on our market, they assess anti-dumping duties, which is basically a penalty, and they can be from 5% additional duty up to 200% additional duty, depending on the country and how much below value they're sending the goods to our country for. Countervailing duty is to level the playing field on items that are being sold into the U.S. I'm trying to get my mouse back over here. Sorry. You let this out, right? Yep. Okay, I'm going to get my mouse over here.
There it's working.
Is it there?
Yeah. Oh, on your screen?
There it is. Okay. All right. So countervailing duties is are assessed to level the playing field between domestic and subsidized importing goods. So here's a good place to find out if your product is subject to anti-dumping or countervailing duties, and then you can drill down and find out specifically how much those anti-dumping or countervailing duties would be by going into any of these messages and taking a look. Within these messages, it also shows different companies that provide, for in this circumstance, wax candles from China, and specific anti-dumping rates for each of the shippers in China. For actually figuring out classifications, this is the International Trade Commission's website, and they publish the tariff of the United States, and it works by chapter. Of note, once you've figured out your classification, there are 3 types of duty. There's preferential treatment, which is pretty much every country in the world except for column 2 rate classifications, or column 2 rate countries, which the column 2 is much, much higher duty, and currently the only 2 countries that fall under column 2 are Cuba and North Korea. And the third type of duty would be a preferential special, let me go back on that. The third rate of duty would be a country that has a preferential tariff agreement with the United States. For example, GSP, which is General System of Preference, Colombia Free Trade, African Growth and Opportunity Act, Korea Free Trade, Israel Free Trade. So many countries have free trade agreements with the U.S. And those can be found also in the ITC's website. If you come to the tariff page and then drill down into, the general notes, for example, starting on page 11, you have all of the GSP, which is the Generalized System of Preference countries, and you can find all of those countries here. And these are countries that are part of the GSP, and so if you find that your tariff is free of duty from a GSP country, and it's shipping from one of these countries, you can enjoy duty-free treatment as long as you verify that, to the best of your ability, that that freight is actually being made in that country and being shipped from that country as well. Classifications, go back to my other notes here. I put here on the website here a classification in chapter 44, which is wood products, just so you can see that classifications are determined based on 4 criteria in this order. If the goods are specifically named in the tariff, that's the first preference. If they are not named, but there's a general description, then that's the second preference. If there's no general description and they're not named, then you have to go under component materials. And if you can't do any of those 3 things, then you're going to look under items that that match its actual or principal use of the product. For example, a good that is named under a general description here is you have tableware and kitchenware of wood, and then specifically forks and spoons fall under this tariff number here, which is 4419004000. So any wooden fork or spoon would fall under this tariff number. And the column 1 rate of duty, if you look to the top here in the general rate of duty, column 1 is 5.3%. But as you look to the special column, it is free from all of the countries that are encompassed in all these Free Trade Act abbreviations. A being for GSP, AU being for Australia, BH is Bahrain, and so on. It's also under a reduced rate of duty from Korea, so it's 3.1% from Korea. And as you see in column 2, if this product were coming out of Cuba or North Korea, the rate of duty would be 33.33%. So it's important to determine your classification and then know exactly what country you're coming from and whether you fall under one of the special rates or under one of the column 2 duty rates based on your country of origin. And it's also very important to make sure that you don't miss something from anti-dumping or countervailing. So it's a good idea to search any new product in cross-ruling to get an idea whether somebody's already made a ruling on that product, and in the anti-dumping website on Customs and Border Protection, so that you can always know exactly what you're going to pay. And that's just a general overview of classification. If you go to the ITC, you can see all of the different chapters within the tariff book, and you can click into any one of these and look through them to see how your item would be classified, or you can call us and we can help you find the proper classification and the proper duty rate.